What is up, my friends? You are welcome along to our match reaction after Liverpool and Newcastle have drawn 3-3 at St James's Park. An eventful game that unfortunately for us ended with an uncharacteristic mistake from Queevy and Kelleher that allowed Newcastle to get their late equaliser. But we've a lot to talk about from this game. And what I would say is it's always frustrating when you lose or draw or drop points in this way. But big picture stuff, is a 3-3 draw away going to be the end of our season? No. It obviously sucks and it stings because of the way the result came about. If we had grabbed the equaliser in that way, we'd be having a different conversation. But that being said, there is still a lot of performances today that just weren't up to scratch, and we're going to try our best to go through them and figure out who needs to be rotated, who needs to be dropped, and maybe what we need to do in the window. So look, we're going to go through it all over the next 25 minutes or so. Firstly, the first half performance was uncharacteristically not good enough. We looked leggy, we looked off it, we looked vulnerable on the right side of our defence. Darwin Núñez was an absolute shocker again today. I'm going to call it like it is. The referee, whilst not the reason for the result, certainly has some questions to answer about some decision making, in my humble opinion, particularly around the yellow cards. Every foul that we made was a yellow. And but you know what I said to Connor just before we went live is, of course, we'll pick the bones out of this. We'll work through our frustrations. We'll talk about it. But if there's one thing I want Liverpool to do, it's stop giving away so many needless free kicks. 25, 30, 35 yards out. Because we do it over and over and over again. And ultimately, it was that, coupled, of course, with a Kelleher mistake, that cost us the win there. I know this sometimes sounds a bit hypocritical coming from me. But let's not throw the baby out with the bathwater here today. We wanted a response. We did get one. It didn't end up going the way we wanted. And I'm as frustrated as anybody about that. But let's not start getting into this the season's over mood. We dropped points. We haven't dropped points in a very long time. It was a chaotic Christmas game. And it sucks. But, you know, we're still in a very, very good position. And we go hopefully beat Everton at the weekend and bounce back from this. It is just a day that we're going to have to take it on the chin. Kelleher's good, but as a number two, but not good enough as a number one long term. You get that from one mistake, mate, do you? So, I mean, whatever, you're entitled to your opinion. Thank you for your super chat. But do you know what? This is where I really start getting wound up about some of our fans, because there's no denying Kelleher made a mistake. I'm not going to push back on that whatsoever. But has he not earned a mistake? Are we Are we Arsenal? Is that where we're at with our fan base? We've thrown our own players under a bus for one mistake. Do you not think he's going to feel terrible about that? Of course he made a mistake. I'm not trying to bail him out here. But I'm saying he's bailed us out a lot this season. So if anybody has earned a mistake, I think it might be him. And with regards to Darwin, I don't have any defending of Darwin anymore. That was a game where Darwin was absolutely invisible for too many parts of it, missing pretty simple chances, and didn't impact the game enough at all. So I can't defend Darwin on that one, because I don't have he's bailed us out many times to play on Darwin. It just hasn't been good enough. And this is the time of the year where we need to lean on people. And, well, we've seen again today who we can rely on. His name's Mohamed. His second name's Salah. 2 goals and an assist and hit the bar. Phenomenal from him today. I'm tired of Núñez week after week, said Henry Jones. I get it. I'm going to defend Kelleher because I think he's getting too much grief from some fair weather people in the chat. But ultimately, I've no defence for Darwin. I don't. I've tried all season. James Armstrong said, not a bad point. Started and finished a bit funny. Need some players to come back in. Jota, Harvey, Elliott, Kanade. Kelleher made a world-class save on the one-on-one with Gordon. Yeah, he did. And look, he's going to feel like crap in that dressing room. And it's very deflating, it is, because, of course, we'd wrestled ourselves back into a great position. And yeah, I'll never understand why he let it go. You know, he should have played it, but it's the draws that lead you to second in May. Yet the one draw. We've had another draw since Arsenal. It's not like we're drawing every week. We've 2 draws and 1 loss in the season. And yes, it is important that we don't drop points unnecessarily. But, you know, what I'm trying to say is, don't let this work as something that we start dragging ourselves down. It's frustrating tonight. Definitely understand that. You can moan, and I will moan about some refereeing decisions. I will moan about some poor performances. Absolutely understandable. But everybody else is going to try to take us down. Let's not do it from within. It was the terrible refereeing, 2 pens not given. So, look, on the handball one, I can understand how some say not a penalty, some say it is. This season in the Premier League, they haven't been given more often than not. But the one that annoyed me the most was the Diaz one. The one where he's been dragged from outside the box and then all the way in and he goes down and we get nothing. And every time a Newcastle player went to ground, Madley was given a free. So, you know, on the handball one, I do understand it based off what we're seeing from referees this season. I'm not saying I agree with it because, let's be honest, as much as I can sit here and say, okay, maybe that wasn't, in the Champions League next week, that would 100% be a penalty. And I think that's where the frustration comes from. It's different leagues now having different interpretations of the same law. Kelleher was the last person I expected to make any mistake today, but we move on. Kwanzaa shouldn't be near right back. Backups are needed. Wake up FSG. Yeah, look, the defensive situation on the right side today, I don't think that was good enough in any way. And it looked shaky. So I don't want to see Kwanzaa at right back either. I agree on that one. So let's look at some of the underlying numbers from the game. Possession-wise, Liverpool had a bit more of a 59 to Newcastle's 41. Total shots, 16 to Liverpool, but just 5 of them shots on target. That's not great. You know, 16 shots, just 5 of them getting on target. After that, then we had what? Dangerous attacks, 49 for Liverpool, 50 to Newcastle, so pretty even. Corners, 6 to Liverpool, 5 to Newcastle. Pass and accuracy percentage, 79 for them, 87 for us. Do you know what I find funny though? Honestly, when everybody else drops points, nobody starts talking about big problems or title races. We draw one game, just one game, and our fans are writing off a title. Opposition fans are calling us bottlers, and some people actually buy into this crap. We drew. It wasn't great, but we drew. And we move on again. And we've had a run of games that were Real Madrid, Manchester City and Newcastle. And now we've got a Merseyside derby against Everton. So a draw is not the end of the world, as much as it sucks the way it came about. I want to come back to the equalising goal for a minute, because let me say this before I start. Kelleher was a fault. No question about it. He'll know it. You know it. I know it. There's no debating that fact. But if you go back a little bit, how many goals have we conceded from giving away silly free kicks 25 to 30 yards away from our goal? Soft free kicks. It happens us way too often for my liking. And we gave the referee so many easy outs to give them these cheap free kicks. And we didn't defend it. So yes, there was absolutely a mistake from Kelleher. There's no getting away from that. But we also need to stop being so lackadaisical. But yeah, on Darwin today, look, Darwin wasn't good enough. Kwanzaa was terrible. Gomez had a shocker. We looked way different when Trent came on. We looked like a different team when Trent was at right back. And, you know, we had to take Gravenberch off as well. We were walking a tightrope with yellow cards. There's a lot of things here that we can talk about. But ultimately, squad depth is going to be important. So hopefully, this will wake up the recruitment team to know that if we want to kick on and maintain this great start and push towards a league title, we need to get it sorted in January, and quickly in January. Because Ryan can't play 70 games a season. Virgil can't play 70 games a season. One freak equaliser doesn't put us out of a title race. Exactly, Joe. You know, we can look at this in a few ways, Joe. We showed unbelievable fight and heart to get back to being ahead in that game. So we can talk about that side of it as well. And yes, it was a mistake. And look, I know it sucks. There's no denying this things, of course. But ultimately, after that first half, we were terrible. We wanted a response. We got a response. Mohamed Salah showed incredible determination in that game, and underlined, highlighted and re-underlined why he needs to be given a contract quick smart. So yeah, we were one mistake away from leaving here with another late victory where we're all buzzing. So, you know, let's try to keep it in perspective, because there's going to be enough people in other fan bases, in the media, trying to make this something it isn't. It was a mistake that cost us. It happens. It's sport. IFI must say, Craig, we played shite at Newcastle and came away with a 3-3 draw. Some fans need to give their head a wobble. Yeah, exactly. Like, I'd have taken a point at half time. I wouldn't have taken one at 3-2 up now, I can't lie. But, you know, we've been on the other side of that result so many times, or we've pulled it out late. And we didn't get the rub of the green today. Kelleher made a mistake. You know, there's no denying that. But I like to look at the response that we showed. And we did get that response today. And we did force a way back to be 3-2 up. And we did turn it round. Just didn't have the ending that we wanted.